Back to the Trash Film Home Video, and we're going to do a Blu Ray update. This is going to be first one, so we'll see how it goes. I've tried this like 3 or 4 times and haven't enjoyed what I've done. So here we go. First one up, Boys Next Door, from Severin, starring Charlie Sheen and Maxwell Caulfield. Got a lot of special features. This was directed by Penelope Spheris, who did The Decline of Western Civilization 1 and 2. She's gone on to do a lot of other things, and a lot of things definitely not in this vein. This is definitely a bit of a rougher watch, especially in today's day and age. There's some stuff in here that people might find a little... I guess the word would be triggering, even though the reason for doing it was to bring light to certain issues. But basically, he's a complete psychopath. That's his best friend, and they go on sort of a crime spree, basically. He's a complete sociopathic serial killer. He is not, but this is one I would definitely recommend you checking out. It's really, really fantastic. Up next, Penitentiary from Vinegar Syndrome. Now, there's going to be 2 movies on this whole update that I'm going to just say, buy it. And this is one. Penitentiary came out in... Gosh, when did it come out? 79. So this was 80. So this was on the tail end of the blaxploitation or black exploitation sort of craze that was going on. And I think this gets lumped into that kind of genre. I don't really... I mean, yes, there is some elements, but this is, these guys took this film seriously. And I think the product is a little bit higher brow than what you would consider your typical black exploitation picture. There's a fight scene in this that's done inside of a jail cell that is very small, and it's one of the craziest fight scenes, one of the most claustrophobic fight scenes I've ever seen. That is the other cover, by the way. But yeah, I highly enjoyed this. Now, there's a Penitentiary 2 that I picked up. I'm trying not to show things that I've already shown in other videos, but this one I did want to talk about a little bit, so that's why I'm showing it here. I loved it. If you like prison films or crime films or anything like that, I would pick this up in their next sale, which is happening at the end of May. Up next, this one I slept on for years. I had always heard about Nightmare Beach. This is from Kino Lorber. Always heard about Nightmare Beach. Never, ever wanted to pick it up. It just did not seem like something that I wanted to check out, and I heard terrible things about it. And boy, was I wrong. This is not a great movie by any means, but... that is that's the other cover, which I like, but I actually like this cover better. It's not a good movie, but it's a very good bad movie. And, I mean, you can't go wrong with John Saxon and Michael Parks. Yeah. Up next, 976 Evil. This is from Eureka Entertainment, which is a Region B release. This has got a slipcover, and it may have art cards. I'm not 100% sure. But the DVD's like out of print, and I don't even remember if it had a Blu Ray, but they're going for decent amounts. So I went ahead and decided to grab this. I think I grabbed it from Orbit DVD. I remember loving this movie a long time ago. It didn't wow me as much this time. I haven't seen it in quite a while. I do love her character, his mother's character. She's a trip. And then we got Stephen Jeffries, and you can't go wrong with Stephen Jeffries from Friday Night, directed by Robert Englund. So definitely one to check out. I'm really glad that I picked this up because it's a much better edition than what we've had previously. Continuing with the Region Bs, we got 10 to Midnight from 88 Films, starring Mr. Badass himself, Charles Bronson. This is basically taking off of the Richard Speck murders, which I don't remember when they were. I think they were in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s maybe. But basically Charles Bronson is tracking a serial killer. And this serial killer gets completely nude when he kills, which is interesting. Very interesting movie. I wouldn't call this a slasher film, even though they have it in their Slasher Classics collection. It's not really a slasher film to me. It's more of like a dark police drama, more so than a slasher movie. This one does come with a slipcase and art cards, poster cards. Yeah, I got this one also, I think, from Orbit. Up next, we have Whodunit, or aka Island of Blood. This is obviously from Vinegar Syndrome. Pretty inept slasher. It's not great. It's pretty silly, very low budget. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of great things, but there's something about it, I don't know what, that I like, and that there's a reason that I want to keep it. Part of it is the fact that at the end of this thing, there's a very dark reason for the killings. The reason that the killer is killing people is very dark, and it's just kind of dropped on you out of nowhere. It's pretty interesting, actually. The end kind of makes the whole movie, but it is pretty inept. But if you're like a slasher completist, then you definitely want to pick that up. I don't remember if I even showed this, but this is Don't Panic from Vinegar Syndrome. This one I was into for quite a while. It was pretty interesting, pretty goofy, pretty funny. Partly intentionally, partly not intentionally. There's a lot of stuff in this movie that's just like you shake your head at, especially the fact that he's supposed to be in high school when he wears Dino PJs, which, if anyone's heard about Don't Panic, they've already heard about that. But it kind of slowed down toward the middle, and I got a little bored, and then it started to pick back up again at the end. So, but if you're into Mexican horror or Vinegar Syndrome, I think these are still available. And yeah, if you want to pick it up, I would watch those numbers and grab it at the end of the month. Continuing with Vinegar Syndrome, this is one of their VSAs. This is Martial Law 1 and Martial Law 2 Undercover. Starring, God, I forgot her last name, or her first name. Rothschild is her last name. She is actually a, 8-time black belt champion. She is a legitimate, serious, badass MFer. And then, of course, we got good old David Carradine over here. And actually, if I'm honest, I liked Martial Law 2 Undercover better. I don't remember anyone dying in the first film, but they kill motherfuckers in this one. And we've got her again. She comes back. And we have also Billy Drago. Billy Drago? Is that his name? I could be saying that. No, I think I'm mixing up Rocky. Jesus. Now I feel like an idiot for not knowing who this is. It's going to drive me nuts. Anyway, look up Martial Law 2 Undercover and you'll see who I'm talking about. He plays a cop. He plays like the chief. But this one was limited to, This one is $33.62, so out of 4,000, so it's getting up there. There's still some available. And then we've got another VSA, Savage Dawn. Now this one I did have to go on eBay. This is sold out at this point. But this was a really fun one. This one has William Forsythe, Lance Hendrickson, Karen Black. Basically, a town is taken over by this biker gang, and Lance Hendrickson and George Kennedy's in it as well. They have to save the town. It's a pretty cool, a little action flick. But again, this one's sold out, so you'd have to go on eBay. And these are VSAs, so they're not, these are, once they're gone, they're gone. So this one's $31.14. And then finally, Peruta Durango. Now this is another one that, if you are into kind of those, they're like, in the 90s, there were these kind of wild action, dark action films. That's one of these. The director, Alex de la Iglesia, also did Day of the Beast, which Severin also put out. I didn't get that one. This one I watched the trailer for, and it just looked way more up my alley. Starring Rosie Perez, Javier Bardem, and God, what was his name? Screaming Jay Hawkins. Really, really good movie. I really enjoyed it. Basically, it's about kind of these two really unsavory characters in Rosie Perez and Javier Bardem. They are... he's like a shaman for his own sort of religion. He's basically a cult leader, but he's also like a criminal. And he's doing a job for I don't know, some cartel guy, I guess. And they're moving fetuses. I don't know. That's why there's a little fetus down here. I don't know why, but really, really cool, wacky, kind of out there, dark action film. I would... Now, you can get this in 4K, and you can get this in Blu Ray. I was going to get the 4K, but where I hadn't seen it, I thought, nah, let me just go ahead and get the Blu Ray. And the 4K probably does look really good, but I am completely fine owning this just in Blu Ray. The other cover is really awful. I don't even like this cover, but the other cover is terrible. But yeah, Peruta Durango. I would check this